Hello chefs, last week we did an Austrian embarrassing recipe, and today we do a French one, which is a very well known one. It's Crepe Suzette, and I'll tell you about it as I go along with the work. Basically I prepare a batter, but I did it before and I did it with flour, but I've seen so many people are using now gluten-free or even wheat-free, so I'm using some arrowroot instead. It's slightly different, the proportion. It's 1, 2, 3, which means 1, nearly twice, and nearly 3 times the eggs. So I get on with that, and then I prepare the sauce and the crepe as I go along. So let's make space here, and mixer, and I start off with the corn flour, which is quite different than usually when we make it with the normal flour. A pinch of salt, and I mix the milk. So milk is nearly twice the amount, if not 3 times the amount of the corn flour, or arrowroot in this case. So I keep some back just in case. Mix it in. It doesn't clog up at all, doesn't make lumps, because it's not the same as flour. It just is suspended in a liquid. I just break in the eggs. Meanwhile my pans are heating up already. I melt some of the butter in the pan, so it's just to prime the pan. Sticky stuff. Make sure I got enough heat. Look at it, it's fairly sort of liquid, but the arrowroot will produce a very quick effect, sort of swelling up and setting. So I need. And I just prime the pan and pour in the excess butter into the mix. Just whisk it in a little bit, and then we'll produce its own priming as I go along. And don't need much, so about a spoonful, and just sort of let it set almost. Very sort of quick setting. I just do 2, and I got some prepared from before just for the sake of time, and I go on with the preparation for the Suzette itself. So say Suzette is the name of a bit of a courtesan of I think he was Edward VII, who was having dinner at the Café de Paris, Monte Carlo, and the young chef was cooking in front of them, at least how the legend goes, and he was concocting up something with the liqueur, and he wasn't meant to, but he caught fire. So instead of chucking the lot, he carried on, not to be embarrassed, and what came out is something that's quite pleasing, Crepe Suzette. And he takes in orange zest, as you can see here, about 2 oranges for about, say, 2 portions, and then some butter and some sugar, and of course the burning bit, which I won't do today because I don't want to set my place on fire, using Grand Marnier. So as you can see, the pancakes are setting already. Check them in a minute. And I need, that one seems to be ready. Now you won't be able to toss a pancake made with arrowroot because it's not as flexible as the one we made with flour because of the missing this. That one is not as fast as that. Yeah, so it has to be turned back. That's the trouble with electric sometimes. So I carry on. We're making the zest first. So the sharp knife. And we've done this cutting techniques many times by now. Using the finger walk. So put the shiny part of the skin against the board, same as we do with the peppers. And this time you really have to be very thin. Sort of julienne. It's better than grating. It's got a bit of substance, and you don't sort of squeeze out the juices of the actual fragrance or the aroma of the orange when you do with the zesta. As long as you haven't got too much of the white bit, the pith, you will get the full flavor. As you can see, it's just a question of having the right technique. And I'll be making about 3 portions. 1 for me and 2 for my neighbor and his son. The first pancake should be ready. So just put it together with a heap of other pancakes that I have, which I'll be using in a minute. Check the other one, and that's much better. And what I do with that pan, which should be nice and hot, I put in the sugar to caramelize. You can use brown sugar if you want to, which is much quicker. And finish my zest. Yeah. Put that away. And see which one of the 2 hot plates is hot. And then it's time for the oranges to make the juice out of it. And I just squeeze them out by hand. So I get that. That's it. Oops, something fell down. Make room here. It's really difficult with a small kitchen. But this is all about my cookery. Is small kitchen or little kitchen, little cooker, and little ingredients and very little time. Meanwhile, my sugar is sort of melting, caramelizing. Wash my hands, of course, and I squeeze out the orange into the bowl, sieving off the actual pips. And the second pancake is coming up to speed, so I'll take it out in a minute. Yeah, great. So that is finished, and switch this off. See if that's much hotter or not, we'll find out. More or less the same, I think. As I say, this used to be done in front of the customer, it still is. And the brandy or orange brandy has been flamed just for show, really. But it certainly gives the extra taste to it. Right, here's the hard work. I just stop here and right, my sugar is caramelized, sort of getting golden brown. I put a zest in, so to make them slightly candied. Mix them in. It doesn't take long. Put in the orange juice, and that is evaporating slightly. And then slowly add the butter in knobs. And it should just about come to the right consistency. Add a touch of the brandy. At this stage, as soon as it starts boiling, it would be flamed. And all you do is just dip in the pancakes one by one. You fold them over into quarters. And I've got enough juice to go around. A bigger pan be better. So it's just simmering away a little bit. And make room for the last one. And let it sort of heat up and reduce. And of course, it's served straight away. It's a quick dish in front of the customer. So I usually serve about 2 each. And I'll be continuing mine later. A bit of the zest and the juice. So here it is. It's Crepe Suzette. I hope you try your own and enjoy your cooking. See you next week.